Good morning, welcome back to some more Magic the Gathering. I need to turn up my face. So, real quick, I just want to say we kind of have a wacky Magic story happening that I kind of want to talk about a little bit before we jump into Abzan Gates. So, first and foremost, let me just say we're playing this list today. Hopefully going to get through 3 games, not entirely sure. But I want to take a moment to talk about something that happened here recently, and that is Magic the Gathering sending the Pinkertons to somebody's house. So this article is on Gizmodo, and according to this, it's been updated as it goes on. But Dan Cannon, a YouTuber known as Old School MTG, Magic the Gathering publisher, Wizard of the Coast, sent Pickerington Agents to his home in order to retrieve a selection of unreleased cards of the latest Magic set, this being March of the Machines. He opened up booster packs on his YouTube channel, which resulted in revealing some of the set that was to come out. Within the week, Cannon said Pinkerton Agents knocked on Cannon's door and demanded he turn over the cards from the unreleased set. He had released a video on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the agents arrived Saturday morning, according to him. But according to Wizards of the Coast, the company sent an investigator as a part of an investigation into unauthorized distribution and disclosure of embargoed product. Only after several phone calls went unanswered. Excuse me. The company said they visited him and asked that he reach out as a part of the investigation and return the embargoed product and packaging. He agreed to do both, and we are replacing all of the unreleased product with the product that he intended to purchase. Now we'll look at this video here in a second. This gets kind of a little bit wild though, in a way. In an email exchange with IO9, Cannon confirmed that the statements he made on the video and had added additional context, stating that as soon as my wife answered the door, they aggressively asked me for my full name, announced themselves as the Pickerington Agency, which I am familiar with in their reputation, and said they were to recover stolen goods. After his wife asked them to wait outside, Cannon said that they forced themselves at least partially through the door and prevented her from closing the door all the way. When Cannon eventually got the door, he says he assertively moved everyone outside and told the agents that they need to treat Cannons with more respect. They did eventually dial it back and become more civil after that. He says, at some point, Cannon alleges the treatment by the agents made his wife cry. However, Wizards of the Coast says it strongly refutes this depiction of events. Of course it does, which contradicts both the reports from the investigation, as well as the conversation between the individual and the Wizard of the Coast representative at the interaction in question. The company has also stated that under no circumstances would we instruct any employee or contracted agent to intimidate an individual. They claim that he was in possession of stolen property and to hand it over immediately. If they didn't, they would claim that is copyright infringement and he could face up to 1 to 10 years in jail. And they also allegedly threatened that they could basically fine him up to $200,000. This was his first interaction with the Pickerington agents, and they told him that they tried to confront him on the house Friday, but nobody was home. Cannon said the video uploaded April 25th. The Pickerington agents, after attempting to go to Cannon's house, began knocking at homes of his neighbors, asking for information about him and saying they had an appointment with Cannon. According to Cannon, the Pinkerton agents said that they didn't want to call me before showing up because they didn't want me to have time to react and get rid of the cards. Additionally, Cannon says he had no interaction with Wizards of the Coast before the incident Saturday morning. Cannon was given a number to call, and he did so while Pinkertons were in his home. When he reached Wizard of the Coast employee, they said that they had attempted to call him on Friday, but because it was listed via unlisted number, Cannon did not pick up. Cannon says the Wizard of the Coast employee did not leave voicemail or send an email, but when they finally talked on the phone, they asked which Magic the Gathering cards he would like. According to Wizard of the Coast, the company initiated several phone calls to the individual in order to make contact, though we understand why he would be reluctant to answer an unknown number. When we were unable to contact by phone, local contractors were asked to try and contact and request help in the investigation, including the return of the product which can aid in our investigation. The company also confirmed they offer to replace all unreleased product with the correct released cards. Where else is there? I want to know how he got a hold of the cards. He claims he purchased these. Okay. YouTuber frequently opening up early boxes and allowed to show off early cards. He claimed he purchases these cards for about $4,000 under the impression that they were from the already released set March of the Machines. There would be no restrictions or rules given to him at any point. Hold on. So what? It wasn't not March of the Machines he opened? I thought it was March of the Machines he opened. Seeing the aftermath. Okay, so it was like super early cards, I guess. Is there already a new set coming out? Didn't March of the Machines just come out? Hold on. Hold, please. May 12th. Holy fuck. March of the Machines just came out last weekend. They already have a new set coming out on March 12th. It's a non-draftable set and micro set. Dude, Magic needs to, like, trim back the amount they're releasing. They're releasing so much constantly. It's like, can you trim back a little bit? Okay. So that's where the confusion was. I thought it was March of the Machines he opened. So that's where I guess I should probably read the full thing. They have comment on Canon's explanation how he got the cards. What happened leading up to this individual receiving the cards is still under investigation. A simple phone call or email from Wizard of the Coast, and I would have cooperated, Canon says. There was absolutely no need to send a notorious agency to my house to frighten my wife and threaten us. I do really appreciate all the support from the Magic community during this. Canon said, I've loved the game since I started playing back in '94, and I do intend on continuing the channel and opening more products. Canon says he's a hobbyist, not a full-time or even part-time content creator or influencer. And until this weekend, he had less than 4,000 followers on YouTube. I mean, I'm sure this probably helps inflate that a little bit. What's he sitting at right now? Hey, 5.64. Nice. Wizard of the Coast could have tracked the origin of the product using foil wrappers. The cards came in, or the cardboard boxes. This alleged incident with Canon isn't the first time the Pinkertons have been dispatched to retrieve what? This alleged incident with Canon isn't the first time the Pickeringtons have been dispatched to retrieve Magic the Gathering cards. Sources who are unwilling to share their names for fear of retribution by Wizard of the Coast told IO9 that back in 2017, Pinkerton employees were sent out to investigate the theft of an uncut sheet of foil cards from the then upcoming major expansion, Ixalan. Start playing? I will in a second. Settle down. This is more interesting to me. The Ixalan foil sheet has become something of a legend in modern Magic spaces, and while the original response from Wizard of the Coast is currently unavailable on their site, an archive version exists. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. The Pickerington Agency, I don't know too much about them, but I do know they're not allowed, like, if you're part of this agency, you're not allowed to be, like, work for the U.S. government. Because they were like union busters, right? Was that kind of their thing? Pinkerton is a private security and detective agency established in 1850 in the United States by Scottish-born American, blah, blah, blah. Gonna watch the VOD? Go for it. There'll be timestamps to when it goes to game 1. The Pinkerton National Detective Agency hired women and minorities from its founding because they were useful as spies. So what's like their, like, we never sleep? That's creepy. So like what's their big, like, thing? Conflict with labor unions. The word Pickerington continues to be associated by labor unionizers and union members with strike breaking. Yeah, so that's what I thought. They were like union busters. Just muscle, pretty much. Just muscle. All right. We can jump into some Magic now. So, I just thought that was an interesting story, that Wizard of the Coast sent some pretty notorious people to somebody's house. Like, I don't know, you couldn't have, like, I guess you don't want to get local law involved, but like if I was a business like this sending somebody to collect age first, like you couldn't send an actual representative from Wizards, but like I'd probably do a little bit of background search on who I'm hiring. But today we're playing Abzan Gates.